Good morning, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hello, hello. Good morning, ladies. Welcome, welcome. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning. We're just getting settled here. Welcome, ladies. Welcome. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
welcome. Welcome, ladies. Yes, 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 yes. Ah, first day of school.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I hope my teacher likes me.
Yay!
I hope I make some
Raise my hand.
First call, so exciting.
Oh,
Entrepreneurial Leaders of 2019. Oh, I feel you all in my heart.
Oh, welcome, ladies. Hi, Sage.
Hi, Serena.
I say, mwah.
Hi, Kat. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rochelle. Hi, Mary. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Julie. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Becca.
As the ladies are coming on, please do yourself a favor and turn off your cell phone, close the other windows on your laptop. Just put those things aside and make sure you have, if not the handout, some blank sheets of paper so that you can really make the most out of this call. So delightful to be with all of you ladies. We're going to mute you all to start. Yes. And then we will do a training on how to unmute you all so that you can all get in the game with us. As always, we want to ask you that your face is in the camera so that we can see your beautiful faces. If you have to go to the bathroom or attend to something, please just turn off your camera or cover your camera until you get back so that we can all stay focused and make the most of our time together. So wonderful to see your faces. Can I have you all just perk up your chins and look into the camera so we can see you all? It's so lovely. Hey, Gwen, you want to put some light on so we can see your lovely face? Yeah, you. Uh-huh. Welcome. Hi, Claire.
Yay. And just giving each other a little nod of acknowledgement that you made it, that you're here, that you went through everything that you needed to go through to say yes to this commitment.
Absolutely. This is the beginning, our first training call of the season, and it is a delight to have you all with us. What a joy.
Give each other a kiss. Mwah, mwah.
So we want to say congratulations. And my name is Serena Andrea, and I'm your trainer this year. And I will be working closely alongside the other trainers, Sage Levine, Claire Cooey, and Shannon Fisher. And we just want to congratulate you so much for your commitment. And what we're all committed to is getting you the support that you need to be the most successful in your business this year. When I signed up for this program, I was a lover of freedom. Freedom was the most important value I had in my life. So to that end, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have a laptop. I barely even got my mail. Because to me, what I wanted most was to be out in nature. And when I was in the trees, when I was barefoot, when I was surrounded by green, it was like my happiest place. And so I was a school teacher, and my business was a hobby on the side, creating a storytelling festival. And what happened to me was when I was out in nature and I was in my freedom, I was also really aware of how much I was in poverty and scarcity. I didn't have enough money for my basic essential needs. I didn't have money for herbs. I didn't have money to go on vacation. And so while I was out in my freedom, I was often worried about where money was going to come from and how I was going to pay for the things that I needed. When I met Sage and I walked into the Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy big event, and I saw that there were women who were choosing to leverage their freedom to choose the life they wanted to live and contribute to a greater world, I wanted to be part of that. I wanted it more than being in the woods by myself. I committed to focus on building a business, which meant I had to get friendly with technology. I had to invest in myself through a laptop, through a printer, through a cell phone, and eventually climbing onto the Facebook platform. I had to get friendly with all of those things. And it was through that focus and dedication that I hit my next level of freedom. After a short or a long 5 years of building my business and committing steadily, I now have the kind of financial freedom where I can get lost in the forest. I can take my girlfriends to Tulum for my birthday. I can even plan a trip to Uganda. And when I return home, I have my basic expenses needed. I'm not worried about where I live, what I'm eating, or how I'm taking care of my body. And that kind of freedom, ladies, is what I want all of you to have. And what we here at Women Rockin' Business are committed to you getting. Strategies, tools, and a doable plan so that you can create the business of your dreams and have balance in your life between a fulfilling life and a fulfilling business that contributes to the great change that's happening on this planet. We are here to get you those tools, that support today and every day that we're here, whether it's on the Facebook page or in the training calls, so that you have what you need and you're getting the support that you want. This is just the first call. So we are here to share with you that this is the beginning of a journey where you get to become more of who you are and more able to share that message with the world by helping people that you love to work with, and to watch your income and your impact grow steadily and dramatically this entire year. So during this call, we are going to orient you towards what this year is going to be like together with all these other beautiful women. We're going to help you clarify your message so it becomes something that you can share from your heart confidently and have impact on the people that you're speaking to. And we're going to teach you downstream marketing so that you're not working so hard to build your business and burning out. Now, if you haven't grabbed your handouts in the client forum, we recommend you do that right now. Have them up on your screen, have them printed out by your side so that you can really make the most of our time together. And, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today if I hadn't studied Sage the Vine very, very closely. I don't know about you ladies, but I'm resistant having anyone tell me what to do and definitely how to do it. So I had to study Sage so carefully and learn everything that she said so that I could bend and create a business that suited my spirit and my soul. And so I'm here to say to you ladies that I wouldn't rather be any other place, still studying, learning Sage Divine Levine's mastery in the art of creating a business that has impact, that gives back, that's from the heart, and that is here to serve women. Sage, I love you so much.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun to train alongside you again this year, Serena. You guys should have heard our raving reviews of Serena as my co-trainer for ELA last year, the women graduating ELA. At our client breakfast, we had to actually tell them they had to stop acknowledging Serena. They were so grateful for all of the insight that she gave and all of the ways that she helped them get clients and land speaking gigs. Let's all actually take a moment to feel into the intention that each of you have for this year. Feel into the yes that you have for the clients that are waiting for you, and the courage that it took you to get here, and the courage for every single other amazing beauty here. And let's give each other a big wahoo. Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 3. Ow, 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 ow.
Great to be here.
So I want to just share a couple of things, you guys. And I love that Serena told that story because raise your hand if you are nervous about the technology part of the business. You're nervous about the tech part, the computer part, the Facebook part, the social media part, the marketing online, the websites, the funnels, the thank you pages, the conversion. I notice how as my words get more and more advanced, the autoresponders, right? As my words get more advanced, more hands are going up, right? So we in this tribe have all different comfort levels with technology. And I just love that Serena starts out with that story that when she came to us 5 years ago now as a student, no cell phone, no computer. And by the end of the year, she was rocking Facebook marketing, selling out live events, selling out group programs, and teaching me how to use my cell phone in the airport on the way back from Venezuela. Like, no shit. Like if Serena can dive in and figure it out and quadruple her income, every single one of you can. And I mean that with complete respect and love and amazement for you and who you are, Serena. So I want to just really acknowledge each and every one of you for what it's going to take to rest into this program. I know for many of you, you've been doing things a lot in your life on your own. And I'm here to tell you that part of your success this year is going to depend on you really like resting into what we have created for you this year. I'm curious, who here has the course working on you already? Like just signing up, like just the fact of signing up and putting down your credit card is like stretching you and working on you. Yep. Okay. Give each other a big kiss. Mwah. Good. Class is over. We'll see you next year. No, just kidding. There's no accident that you're here. It's an up level just to sign up for a program like this. Just, you know, if it feels right, just let yourself and let your heart know, like, congratulations, you know, and just thank you to yourself for giving yourself the gift of a year of support, right? This is not a 10-week course. This is not a $997 course. This is a course where we give a shit about every single one of you. You're going to be assigned to a coach. We're going to be with you all year long. We're going to be with you at the events. So I'm going to invite you to head over to the Facebook page in a moment and share your intentions with us. Serena, would you say just a word about what it means to set a powerful intention?
Oh, ladies, don't skip this step. This is huge. Setting an intention is like having a rudder in your boat. You set out in your boat on the 7 seas. You think you're going to just like sail to the other side, no problem, and storms come. Or maybe there's no wind at all, and you need to guide your ship through a storm. Your intention is like your rudder. It's what gives you a chance to steer yourself or to ground yourself or to really make that intention clear for yourself. Your intention is what is going to hold you in all kinds of weather. Now, it looks like Sage and I are both posting at the same time for your one-word intention, so just give us a minute to handle that. And it looks like my screen is also frozen in a really sexy posture. I love it, Wapacha.
All right, you guys, beautiful. Thanks for being patient with us with the technology. So I'm so sorry about that, Serena. Here is the post that you post your one-word intention for our year together, and that you think about exactly what Serena just shared, which is that it's that 1 degree shift that we're looking for, right? That when you set an intention, you literally put yourself in tension, right? Like just by the means of saying, like, when Serena joined Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, I remember one of your intentions, Serena, was about money. Like you really wanted to embrace money and figuring out money. And, you know, I watched you do that. By the end of the program, you know, you were in a completely different financial place. Within 18 months or so of the program, you had bought a brand new car and moved out to this gorgeous home at the edge of town, like exactly where you wanted to live. So, but it wasn't necessarily easy, right, to move into that. So I just want to acknowledge you guys for posting the word that you know is going to be your biggest stretch word. Tanya's posted wealth. And Mari has posted financial freedom. And as you guys are posting, I want to just invite you to really breathe in all of the intentions of the entire group. And there's Serena, you're back. Oh, make sure you are There you go. Serena's back. That's one of the reasons why we co-lead Zoom calls, so that if one of us has a moment of tech craziness, we have each other's back. Hi, Serena.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Great. Seems to be a little lag in my my line, but we'll just roll with it, won't we?
Here we are. We're doing great. So Allison says financial freedom. A lot of you guys are saying some version of money and freedom and financial freedom and wealth. I love that Melissa says momentum. That's going to be a huge thing for you guys this year, is really getting the momentum. And I promise you, once you start feeling that momentum, it all gets a lot easier. Yay, Juliet says breaking through. Marian says growth. Francisca says thrive. Ooh, I love that Lisa says exposure. And Dion says clarity. These are great, you guys. I love the words authenticity. These are really, really good. I want to hear from at least one of you how you know your intention is going to stretch you this year. Lisa's got her hand up. Did you have a question, Lisa?
Sorry about that. That's a mistake. No, I don't have a question.
All right, give Lisa a kiss for being the first one to raise her hand.
Sorry about that. Let me see if I can lower it.
All right, who wants to share your intention out loud with the group? Go for it, Heidi.
Okay, so I put visibility, which is uncomfortable for me because I'm an introvert naturally. So just putting myself out there and becoming more visible.
Yes, give her a kiss. Mwah. Love that, Heidi. And give her a kiss if you want more visibility too, or you're willing to stretch into that. Mwah. What about you, Sonia? I called on her just as she was about ready to take a drink out of her straw.
My intention is to be vulnerable. I have paralyzed, gone, total paralysis, knowing that I have to go in front of a camera and just melting down before I have to go there. And it's all because of my fear of being vulnerable and showing who I really am. And that's been my biggest challenge in life. And so I'm really so grateful for you. And this.
You're so welcome. I'm just curious, who here has that same thing with vulnerability? Like, that being vulnerable is going to be the ways to get more visible this year, but being vulnerable is just about the scariest thing that you could ever imagine, right? Yeah, let's give Sonia a kiss for being vulnerable and brave. Mwah, to share that right out first thing on an Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy call. I'm so glad that you guys brought this up. I want to speak into this. I was actually watching a TEDx talk last night because I'm getting nervous for mine to come out. So I'm binge watching TEDx talks. Do you ever do that when you're nervous about something? You start actually cruising the internet and then it makes it worse because you're comparing yourself to everybody. So I'm going to tell you all to stop doing that. But I was actually really inspired. My friend Mastin Kipp did a TEDx talk about trauma. And one of the things that he really pointed out is that we all have trauma. And I would add to what he said, the nature of growing a business is going to create a feeling of a little bit of trauma in your system. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. It's going to create a little bit of trauma in your system. It's going to feel right? It's going to create that fight or flight response sometimes. And he said the degree to which we can move gracefully through trauma is the degree to which we create safe relationships in our life. Can we breathe into that for a moment? And so would you be willing to be a part of creating the safest, most amazing community here so that no matter what is happening out there, the fear of rejection, the anxiety, would you be willing to be a part of weaving ourselves together so powerfully that you always have women in this program that have each other's back? And just unmute yourself and let's have an aha for that. Yes. Because that's going to be a big part of what this year is about. It is going to be a big part of your success this year, is showing up and using this tribe, leaning in and really going for it. And I want to share one more resource that I used to launch and scale my business, even though like Sonia and Heidi, I was scared of being visible. There were all kinds of fears and terrors going on in me. I repeatedly went back to this book. And Serena and I both want to just encourage you guys to grab this book. Grab this book as one of the very first things that you do in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy. Raise your hand if you've already read it. A few of you. Yep. So this is a book that basically is the art of resistance. It really is the most powerful book I've ever read on the mindset of walking through resistance in order to create massive success. This was the book that I read that actually taught me years ago that it was my job to move toward resistance rather than away, and how to use that feeling of resistance and fear inside of me to raise my vibration rather than shrink in the face of all of it. So Serena and I are going to be teaching you some strategies today. You're going to be getting strategies all year long to fill your practice, land speaking engagements, get in front of your clients, enroll your clients. And none of those strategies will be powerful for you if you are consistently up against your own resistance, right? So we also are going to be teaching you mindset tools all year long. And it starts with this book. So definitely grab it. It's on your required reading list for Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy. It's called War of Art by Steven Pressfield. And you're going to love it. I love it because it's just these little vignettes, these short, like, each chapter is just a couple pages long. You can read it before bed. You could listen to it on your audiobooks and things like that. So, dun, 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 dun. Let's talk a little bit about Zoom and then getting the most out of the program. And some of you guys were not on the VIP day. So if you are still learning how to unmute yourself, you can either press the mute button at the bottom of the screen, or you can press the unmute button at the bottom of the screen. See where it says participants? For some of you, it's at the bottom of the screen. For some of you, it's at the top of the screen. It says participants. If you click there, you'll likely be able to find the unmute button. So let's just practice and unmute ourselves and give one more for the yes we have. Beautiful. Most of you guys got that. And then let's practice just flashing our videos back and forth, because what we ask is that, like Serena said, when you come to a call for Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, that you come video ready. And that doesn't mean makeup and looking perfect. That means that you come ready to be in the video camera, sharing the experience with your sisters. And I'll be honest, you will get more out of these calls if you have your video turned on and you're engaging with us. Does that make sense? The brain is visual. If you're just listening, all of your senses are not being stimulated. So come, sit on the camera. It's okay if you've got bedhead. It's okay if you don't have your makeup on. We don't care. We just want you in your raw essence. We want you practicing being visible, because the more you can be visible here in this community, the more that's going to translate to success with visibility in your business. Does that make sense, you guys? So let's just practice flashing our video cameras on and off in case you have to go to the bathroom or something like that. Flashing them on and off. Just flash your videos on and off, just to let us know that you got it. You're good. Right on. Love it, love it. Beautiful. And giving each other a big kiss for the visibility that it takes to show up on camera, even in front of your peers. All right. As we go through the next 10 success tips, I'm going to invite you to take notes, not multitask. And I'm going to invite you to really step into the mindset of what it takes to create massive success over the next year, and to really begin to create some realistic expectations for yourself. Because if you've never had a business before, you've never served clients before, it might not set you up for massive success to say, Sage, I want 20 clients within a month. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? And I'm not saying that you can't have 20 clients within a month. And some of you are going to be ready for that because you're coming to us with a business. But we're really interested in setting you up for realistic success this year so that we can stand by your side and get you to that place where you have consistent revenue coming in, $2,000 a month, and then $4,000 a month, and then $5,000 a month. and then $8,000 a month and up. And for some of you, you're not even as motivated by the money. You know, some of you didn't come here money motivated. Some of you came here freedom motivated. Like, you're really not as attached to making $200,000 as you are to either stepping aside from a part-time job, or just, there's a few of you that are just here because you want to launch an endeavor that is part of your heart and that makes a difference. And that's it. Like, money's not even a part of it. So wherever you are on that spectrum, I'm going to invite you to keep breathing throughout this entire call. Know that it's a lot of logistical information, and some of our upcoming calls will be much more interactive than this one, but to really feel into where do you want to be a year from now. And we're going to dive into the master plan. I'm going to hand it over to Serena to speak a little bit more about the first of the 10 success tips.
I would love to. And ladies, please forgive if my face freezes in some strange shape. Sage, just let me know if my voice cuts out. The Wi-Fi here is wobbly today for some reason. So one of the best things that we can recommend that you do to get the most out of these calls, number one success tip, is to get organized. There's a lot of information that's going to come at you, and we have a series of handouts for every training call for every month to help you follow along with what it is that you're learning. So what we recommend is that you print those out before you get on the call. For some of you, you might need to go to a Kinko's or something like that to get those printed out before. Some of you can do it at home. But when you have the handouts printed, you're able to make notes, write questions. This becomes your Bible, right? A lot of times women don't wait. They wait to print the handouts at the end of the year, and then they have to relearn them and remember what it was that they learned. So we highly recommend print out your handouts, make a binder, follow along, check off your checklist, make sure that you're really well organized.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I've been looking for the handouts and I don't understand where they are.
Yeah, let me show you. And I also want to start by actually apologizing to some of you, because we owe you a heartfelt apology. We revamped the forum this year so that we could add videos and add more interactive content for you all year long. And in the process of revamping the forum, there are some of the way that it interfaces with your internet, like whether you have Safari or Firefox or Internet Explorer, like there's a few of you, maybe 5 or 6 of you, who are having a hard time getting the forum to work properly, and we are on it. It's gonna get fixed within the week, and in the meantime, we will get you everything that you need through Facebook and through our customer service system. So if you are feeling that because you're not getting things to work, please email Sylvia at support@sagelevine.com, and she's going to get you, she'll get you printouts of everything that you need to get started. And for those of you that do have access to the forum, I will show you where stuff is. Dun, 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 dun. In the member area here, you've got your welcome page, and then you've got your classes. And when you go to classes, you are going to be able to click on each class. Now, the first class here in May is Niche Clarity. That's what we're talking about here in Niche Clarity. And dun, 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 this is gonna work. It did yesterday. There we go. So what should happen is you should hop into the May Niche Clarity module, and you'll see that all of the VIP Day recordings are here from last week if you missed that. And you'll see that all the handouts are here from the VIP Day. And then when you scroll down, this is May of 2019. The training call, the master handouts are all here in May of 2019. Okay, and then there's some supplemental handouts. So that is where it is if your forum is working. And if it is not working, we're going to be adding those to the Facebook page right now. And I want to let Serena keep sharing with you how to get organized. And can we give a kiss to all of my incredible team members that have been working literally, some of them were up until midnight last week getting the forum up for you, because I said to them, I need to be able to actually I want you guys to actually have videos. I want you to have interactive modules on the forum. It's already working so much better than it did last year. Some of our clients from last year are like, yay, thank you. So just thank you for being patient. And can we give a kiss to my team members that have been up late getting it ready for you? All right, back to you, Serena.
Ladies, I love that you're asking questions and you have your hands up, and we're going to be moving through this material and taking questions at different sections. So please just be patient as we roll this out and help you get oriented. What will happen every month is the first Wednesday of the month will be our training call. We'll meet here on Zoom and we'll be learning some particular aspect of building a business. The second week of the month is our Q&A. Nothing but questions and answers. And we highly, highly recommend you come with questions to that call. Whether you ask them yourself or one of your sister asks them, come with what you're curious about. No question is too small, ladies. We're all in different levels of business building and experience. What's really most important on that Q&A call is that you get your voice in the group. We're trained as a society with women not to speak up, to be nice, to act like we know what we're doing, right? To look pretty. That's not what this is about. This is our experiential, live, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm here to learn classroom. So please get your voice in on that second call of the month, which is a Q&A. The third call of the month is our Mastermind or Resource Week. And that is a really exceptional call where we will meet on a conference line. We won't be looking at each other. Because what we'll be doing is we'll be putting you into small classrooms with your sisters where you'll get to practice some aspect of building your business. Now, ladies, this is often the call where people don't want to show up. They're like, well, you're not going to see if I'm there or not, so I won't arrive. And if I have to practice something with my sisters that I don't know how to do, well, I'd rather not do that either. And I want to suggest that that third call of the month, that mastermind call, is key to your success. Where else are you going to be able to practice, to get sweaty, to make mistakes, to find out where is the gap in your conversations that you're having with clients than in those third calls of the month? So show up for those. Now, and then the fourth week of the month is what we call our integration week. That week is a chance for you to do the things you maybe didn't get done during the rest of the month. It's also a chance for you to meet with your buddies and practice. It may be the moment in your month where you can have a coaching call. When we say integration week, we don't want you to take it off and go out into the forest and get barefoot.
That's what you would do, Serena. Actually, if you really need to do that, absolutely you should do that.
Integration week is also a time for self-care.
Just come back to us.
We don't want you working all the time, but the integration week is also a chance to keep this Wednesday slot for working on your business, even though we don't have a call. Really important. Now, ladies, what happens if you miss one of those calls? No worries. Life is going to happen. Our kids are going to get sick. We're going to have to help our parents. Maybe we're sick. The training calls and the Q&A calls are recorded, and we really recommend you listen to them, not at the end of the course, not in 3 months, but as soon as you can, so that you keep current on what's being taught in the training.
And the easiest way, is it okay if I add a couple things, Serena?
Yeah, please do.
The easiest way to stay on top of this course, I'll just be super blunt with you, is to get on every call. In fact, if you want massive results and you want them quickly, definitely don't get on every call, because if you do, you might actually reach your goals. And that was for the resistant learners out there. Haha, just poking fun at you.
It's so true, Sage. Every year, the women who show up on every call and are asking the really sweaty questions and saying they don't know how to do things are the women that actually make the most progress from where they started to where they want to be in the program. So we really recommend you do that.
Make it a priority. Pretend that this program is a $10,000 client that just handed you $10,000. Seriously, because we are now professional entrepreneurs, like really setting out to grow a successful company. And so treat this program the way you would show up for your highest level client. Does that make sense? And if you do, you're going to watch yourself sell $5,000 packages and $10,000 packages because of that up level. I just want to share a couple of other things, and so sorry to interrupt you, Serena. I just noticed that because Shannon couldn't be here, there's a couple
Yeah,
things.
exactly. Thank you, Sage. Please add that.
So I want to let you know that the calls switched around a little bit for May, because I decided to go ahead and jump on in a couple of weeks and get you guys a total bonus session on message clarity and niche clarity. So that is a call definitely not to be missed. That's an extra call. And what that did is it bumped the mastermind call to May 22nd. So just be sure that you put all of these calls in your calendars. And just a reminder, niche clarity. I'm in the niche clarity, first module here for May. And just a reminder as well that we've added an additional Q&A call that's for our entire community, because every once in a while, right, you miss the Q&A call, and it's so nice to have an extra one to hop on. And we also have some women in Europe and in Australia who really needed a call in the afternoon. So we added an afternoon call once a month. Megan Neely's usually going to be leading those. I'll hop on sometimes. And just know that when you get on those calls, they'll be really fun, because there'll be leverage women on those calls, asking higher level questions. And that's a great way for you to keep learning and stretching as well. And then the other thing I wanted to let you know of is, if you have not been able to get the handouts for this month, the most important handout that we are going to for sure cover today has been added to the files section of your Facebook page, and it's called the ELA Master Plan 2019. So for any of you who might have your forum not working, just head over to Facebook, click on Files on the left, and you'll see the ELA Master Plan right here. Okay, back to you, Serena.
Wow, that's so helpful. I love that. You have 2 different ways to access your files. That's awesome, ladies.
Wait, I have one more thing to say.
Say one more thing, please.
Okay, the next thing I promised Shannon I would say, she's going to be here next week to meet you guys, and we're about ready to introduce you to another one of our amazing coaches, Claire Cui. The next thing I wanted to make sure that I say, that Shannon is speaking through me right now. I'm channeling her. She's our head of coaching. She's amazing. When you get into your forum, there's a couple of things you're going to want to do right away. Watch this amazing video with the one and the only Sage Levine. And then the other thing that you've got to do is complete your commitment checklist. This is important because it literally clicks a switch in our system that says this person's in, they're ready for coaching, they're ready for everything else. So be sure to just fill out this short commitment checklist. There's a bunch of jumpstart trainings here for those of you that still need clarity on your niche and who want to go fast. There's some great trainings to dive into right here as step 3. Obviously, there's information about how to get on the Facebook group. And then the next thing that you're going to want to be sure to do is to fill out the coaching survey here in step 5. That's going to give us some important information about how you prefer to be coached. And until you do that, we cannot place you with your private coach. So once you fill this out within a week, you then will get your private coach assigned to you, and you can start booking sessions. And that is very exciting because you are going to fall in love with your coaches. They're amazing. And the last thing I want to really invite you to do is to sign up for text reminders. They're fun. We send out inspirational quotes. We send out reminders about your calls. And if you haven't given us permission to do that, we cannot do that without your permission. So just click here, enter in your phone number, and you will get some fun, inspirational weekly quotes from Sage Levine and the team here gathered at Women Rocking Business. Okay, back to you, Serena.
That's so helpful. Thank you. Thank you. I love it how this team is just working overtime to make sure we get everything we need. So ladies, let's take a big breath, put our hands above our heads. Because your next success tip is stretching. When we get uncomfortable, we tend to collapse and contract. And that is really difficult for new information, for love, for support to get into our systems. So learning how to stretch ourselves when we're uncomfortable is going to be key. Stretching yourself is also going to look like getting uncomfortable with your fellow sisters. outing yourself when you're feeling really uncomfortable, scared, frightened, mad at your coaches, mad at yourself, hiding. Whenever you can, allow yourself to feel uncomfortable in this safe group of women, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to succeed. Success number 3. One of the things that we see every year is women go into complete overwhelm because there's so much to learn here in this program. So what we recommend you do in order to be able to absorb what's happening here, practice and master it so that you can literally add thousands of dollars to your income, we recommend you take an information diet. That looks like unplugging and unsubscribing from all the things that you've been following. Now, we're not saying, stop going to the gym. We're not saying, give up your church group, never hang out with your girlfriends. But what we're asking you to do is stay really focused on this program and what we're recommending, because the templates that we are using are proven formulas to help you get clients. And we know that we need to get you clients before you burn out or you lose the momentum to do it. And we don't want you swimming in your head so much. So-and-so said I should do it like this. So-and-so's doing it like this. Should I do it like this? Keep it clear and simple. An elegant business model to help you get in front of your potential clients. There are so many ways to stay busy, ladies. There's so many things to focus on. But what we're suggesting is if you actually focus on this program and let us walk you through a really elegant business model, you will get the results that you came for. So begin by taking the information diet today if you can. Now, I want to introduce you to a woman who is one of the most focused ladies I know. Not only can she do a handstand anywhere, including the airport, she is also a highly successful coach, an incredible saleswoman, and a loyal team member who shows up for all of us when we're in a pinch. Claire Cooey, please welcome to the call. We want to hear from you what you think is a successful tip number 4.
Let's train it. Amazing welcome.
Hi, Claire. I want to also just say that late last year, Claire stepped into our sales manager role and she's been crushing it. Any of you who have a chance to learn sales from Claire are very, very blessed to do so. And we'll be bringing her in to teach that. Can we give her a kiss? Mwah. Mwah. Rock star in our midst.
Oh, thank you so much, ladies. And it's such an honor to be on a team and with a group of amazing women that are going to make change. So let's just hop right into what's going to help you have more success. And it's success tip number 4. And we want you to give yourself the gift of focus. And one of the first things I want you to recommend to you is not multitasking on these calls. It's so easy to get distracted. And the reason why is because you actually made an investment to be here in this program. And everything matters. There's so many nuggets that Serena, Sage, Shannon, myself can share. And just make it a priority to not miss any calls. And how you show up here on these calls in the group is going to directly affect your business success. So focus, laser focus on income producing activities like packaging your marketable transformation, defining and attracting your ideal clients, and making more money. Those are all income producing activities. And the more you can really gift yourself this time to be here, to be present, to be on these calls, light a candle, make it like a date, have a cup of tea, and just be here with us, ready to absorb everything that's being shared. And I guarantee the more successful you're going to be. Because this is a really unique program. And we're asking all of you to up-level yourselves in a short amount of time. Sage, Serena, myself, Shannon, we can give you all the tools. We can. We're going to. But what we can't do is come to your house, help you pick up the phone, and do your follow-up calls. Make those scary first steps. to connect with people. And we will be with you energetically while you're doing that. But just know that this program and your success is really dependent on your ability to implement and to focus on what we're sharing with you. Success tip number 5. Join us for live events. I'm a little biased. I'm an MC, and I'm a little biased about the live events. So the first and one of the most impactful ones I know is going to be for you is the June event, the Wealth Retreat.
July Wealth Retreat.
July. Thank you. Thank you for catching that. And the Wealth Retreat, it's all about helping to craft your marketable program and making money. And it's so important. And one of the best recommendations I can make to you about getting the most out of the retreat is staying on site. And the retreat center, it's just incredible. I look so forward to going on retreat. It's at a retreat center called 1440. And the way I look at the Wealth Retreat, it's like a rite of passage. People come and they leave a different person. Their businesses shift. And it's something that happens in each person that is fully there, ready to learn, and is open to receiving the wealth from being at the retreat.
Thank you so much, Claire. And I'm really glad you brought up the retreats, because I do want to speak into this for a moment. Raise your hand if it's a stretch for you to take the time or come up with the money to get your beautiful self to California. Yeah, I really get it. I 100% get it. I'll never forget when I signed up for my first mentors program and I was like trembling in my shoes. And it meant that I had to be in Arizona 3 weeks later. And the only place to stay, it was required that we stayed on site, and rooms were $300 a night. And I didn't know anybody else in the program. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, like, how is this going to work? And I remember asking myself in my heart, like, this is the moment. I'm either going to go for this and go be with all these people that just signed up for this program, or I'm going to be in my fear and bow out. Right. And so I get how scary it is. And I remember going to that retreat. I got some skills that helped me get on the phone with somebody that I knew wanted to hire me. And I literally made $6,500 from that retreat. And that's happened at our retreats every year. We do trainings and teachings at the retreat that we cannot do over the computer. There are experiences that you cannot get virtually, especially around your money consciousness. Because think about it. Our money consciousness equates to our self-value. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? This is big stuff. Self-value is the heart of what we're doing this year. Now, those wounds that got put into place inside of you around money and valuing yourselves, those wounds got put into place in relationship to other humans. Would you guys agree? And so the way that we really heal and get you past those blocks or those painful things that cause you not to value yourself or not to take bigger risks, the way that we get you past that is also in relationship with other humans, 3-dimensionally. So, Serena and Shannon and I and Claire, we're all trained in different mindset modalities and strategies that we're teaching in tandem. Right? So that you're getting a transmission at the retreats. We're literally up-leveling you. And every year we have women come to the retreats and leave the retreat and they're popping $5,000 clients and $8,000. They're popping high-level clients because of the shift that happened at the retreat. So I cannot emphasize enough. I know that some of you are going to have to get really creative in terms of getting out here. And I cannot emphasize enough to give that gift to yourself, right? And just in terms of the total authentic, transparent piece around doing retreats, raise your hand if you guys want to do retreats as part of your programs. Okay, so if you want to do retreats as part of your programs, again, that's another reason, like, you'd be crazy to miss the retreat, right? Because that's like an important part of learning how to do your own retreats. Now, when you guys do your own retreats, guess what? In order to book any really cool retreat center, guess where your clients are going to have to stay? Are they going to have to stay at the retreat center or not at the retreat center? At the retreat center, right? That's the case here too. When we do a retreat at a retreat center, we have to stay there. It's part of the deal. It's part of the rules for the retreat center. And you guys are going to be walking through that as well with your own clients that are coming to your retreat. So give yourself the gift of this, give yourself the gift of experiencing it. And that way, when you turn around and explain to your clients that they're going to come to the retreat and they're going to be investing to be at the retreat center, you're going to be coming from a real place of alignment, having received the transmission at the retreat. So let's take a breath into that. All right, quick review. Success tip number 1 was to get organized and print out the handouts and put them in a binder. Success tip number 2 was to stretch yourself. Success tip number 3 was to stay out of overwhelm. Success tip number 4 is to not multitask on calls. Success tip number 5 is to join us at the live event. Success tip number 6 is to use the Facebook page. Okay, connection is currency, as you guys know. This Facebook group has already been really active. We're so proud and excited of this group. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that makes a difference in you being successful, right, like really successful, is to really lean into this Facebook page. Now, I want to speak a few things about the Facebook page. It is okay to be vulnerable there, 100%. But what we also ask is that when you are vulnerable, that you always recommit. Does that make sense? What that does is it creates an environment that's positive, because we know that building a business is hard and we want you to be safe being vulnerable, but we also don't want the page to turn into a complaining fest. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Anybody ever been a part of a community where there's a lot of complaining going on, right? It's kind of a downer. So we're going to like for me, like if I post, I might say, oh, here's a great example. One of our leverage women posted last week that she had a big setback. It was a couple weeks ago because one of her friends died. And she just posted that she was grieving and that it happened right before an event. And she posted how much her heart was hurting and it was affecting her ability to do her signature talk. And she got a ton of love. And at the very end of the post, it said, and I want my sisters to know I will not give up on my business. Can you see how that was a totally different vibe than if she had just left it at, I'm grieving and I just had this loss? So help us to be vulnerable, help us to keep it positive. Raise your hand if you're more comfortable loving everybody up and leaving a lot of comments than asking for help yourself. Okay, busted. Raise your hand if you're pretty good at asking for help. A few of you. Okay, so our challenge is to notice what your tendency is. If you're usually better at loving everybody else up, be sure that in the next week or so, in the next couple weeks, you ask your own question, get your own support. Does that make sense? And if you notice that you are usually the one who likes to post but forgets to comment on other people's posts, we ask you to abide by what we call the 3-to-1 rule. And this is going to be something we ask you to teach your clients too. By the way, this entire call is an outline for how to do a first group call with your new clients when you launch a group program. Does that make sense? So always be paying attention to what we're doing, and then always be listening on that other level of, someday I'm going to be leading my first call for a group program, right? We like to implement the 3-to-1 rule on Facebook, which means that for every post that you make, you are commenting on 3 other posts. Raise your hand if that's cool with you, you agree, right? You get it. That's the value of creating community. That's how we create community, is the 3-to-1 rule. And the last thing I want to say is that this is a gossip-free zone, and it's a collusion-free zone. And we're really serious about this. This is a place where every single one of you belongs here, right? Your presence makes a difference, and your attitude and your enthusiasm that you bring to the group makes a difference. So when you have women sharing about how hard it is, absolutely, you can say, I get you, I feel you, I've been there. And you want to say, you're strong, I know you got this. Don't let your sisters play small, right? And please do not gossip about anybody in this program. No talking behind their backs. Everybody belongs. This is a safe place. And that includes the program. There's going to be times that you get so pissed off at this program that's stretching you to the limits, that's telling you to go out there and be more visible and speak and do these things that are scary as hell, right? If you have a sister come to you and go, well, the program this and the program that, send them back to us so we can take care of them. Does that make sense? Whenever anybody steps into leadership, including us, It's a recipe for projection. So notice where you might be arguing with us in your own heads or not taking the coaching, and bring that to us so that we can support you. Don't bring it to each other, because we're here for you. For those of you that
love that, Sage. Can I add something?
Yep.
It's so beautiful. There's another distinction that the Facebook page is a really good use for, and that's for coaching on strategy. So for example, if you are going out and giving a signature talk, or having an enrollment conversation with a potential client, and you're needing some support because something's not going right, that's a great place to ask for support. Now, since there are many women in this program who have experience with business, you're going to get all kinds of different advice on what to do. It's beautiful and it's welcome. And what we recommend is to also be willing to go back to whatever template or training that you got in this program for reference. So for example, if you are giving a signature talk and your signature story didn't go as well as you thought it would, and you want to know how to do it right, you might ask for support on your signature story. And my advice might be to go back to the signature story template and make sure you filled in all the gaps. And then find out where the gaps were, and then book a coaching session with your primary coach. It may not be the answer you want, ladies. It may not be a quick fix on the Facebook page. You might have to return to the teachings and then have a half-hour session with your coach to really work through your signature story or your marketable program. No problem. If it's a short fix, you're having your client that you tried to enroll in your program said she didn't have the money and you don't know what to say. And then 7 of your sisters comment, you could say this, you could say this, you could ask this, you could do that. Like, brilliant. Then it's your choice. You get to decide which of the different pieces of information you want to actually go out and give a try. Because in some areas, ladies, there is no definite answer. You're going to have to take the coaching from your coaches, from the trainers, and from the women, and do your best to go out and see what works for you personally and the niche that you're working with. Very experiential, no way to get it wrong or right. We just want to encourage you to stay in action and do your very best. Thanks, Sage, for letting me add that piece.
Yes, awesome. And the last thing we want to say is the Facebook page is not a place for soliciting services. It's just not appropriate. It's not going to create the kind of safe space that we want you guys to all be able to come and brainstorm. Like Serena's saying, the most powerful thing you can do on the Facebook page is say, hey, you guys, here's 3 ideas for a signature talk. Which title do you like best, right? You're going to get awesome feedback from each other. And we're going to be teaching you how to use the Facebook page throughout the next several months and making sure you guys use the Facebook page to the best of your ability. My suggestion is to just use it. Don't get too nervous about using it correctly. Does that make sense? If something's not the way we need it to be, don't worry, we will be in communication. But please, no selling your own stuff on Facebook. Does that make sense? This is a safe place for strategy and support. And the Facebook page is going to be one of the biggest pieces of value all year long. In fact, for those of you that have been with us a year already, you may want to speak to this, right? The value of the tribe, right? We've got several of you here that know and really can speak to that. So let's give a unmute yourself and just give an for the community that's gathered around you all year long. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, just a few more success tips, and then we're going to dive into helping you guys get clear on your message. So success tip number 7 is to really be savvy with your coaching sessions. Once you fill out that survey that I showed you on your welcome page, you will be assigned to a coach within 5 to 7 days, and we are just going to ask that you get started with your coach right away. And do not wait to use the coaching sessions. Here's the thing, you guys. This is super important, what I'm about to say. The time that you need the coaching the most is soon. Okay? When you're halfway through the program, you're not going to need the coaching as much because you will have had 6 months of training behind you. You guys need the coaching soon. And so we ask that you book like 1 coaching session a month for the first 10 months. And it's okay even if you have a busy month where you're doing events and really putting a lot of things into place. It's great to book 2 coaching sessions or 3 if you need it, because there's a couple of reasons for that. Number 1, the sooner you get the private coaching, the more successful you're going to be. Number 2, if you run out of coaching sessions, you can actually buy more. We sell them at a discount, and you'll be making money, most of you, by 6 or 9 months into the program. You've got income coming in, so you'll have the revenue to get yourself a little bit more private coaching if you need a few extra sessions. And number 3, we actually expire the sessions March 1st, because what we've noticed is that if we don't, then everybody waits to use them until the end, and then nobody can get into their coaches' schedules because our coaches only have 24 hours in the day, just like the rest of us. So your coaching sessions do expire March 1st. We'll continue to remind you of that. But once you do get your assignment, go ahead and grab a session, and that's going to be really fun. You guys are going to love those. There's also a coaching prep form in your forum that's just like 3 or 4 questions, and it gets you really clear and ready for those coaching sessions. And because your coaching sessions are 30 minutes, I promise you, you can get a lot done in 30 minutes, but we want to just be clear on what do you want out of that session. Your number 1 thing that you need is clarity on your niche. If you're not clear on your niche, that's what you're using your first coaching session for. And after that, you're going to be using your first coaching session for creating your program that you're selling and putting together your signature talk and practicing enrollment conversations. Your coach is going to guide you, but filling out that coaching prep form is really going to help you. And then I want to speak into you guys being coachable. How many of you, like Serena said, don't actually love being told what to do? Come on. I'm a member of that camp, right? So I want to speak into the value of taking the coaching. Breathe into this for a moment. When Olympic athletes decide to become Olympic athletes and go for the gold, do you think they could do that without a coach? Yes or no? There is no possible way. There are times in our life where we just have to suspend our disbelief and suspend our own agenda and allow ourselves to be guided. And this actually might be one of the important things. I'm telling you what to do because we know the path to success. We've been doing this for a decade, right? When you look on the video screen right now and you see dozens of beautiful, strong women, there is no accident that you're all here. And there's no accident. We haven't built something that's not proven. We haven't built something that's got holes in it, or else this many women wouldn't be alongside you saying yes to this journey together. It took me years to be at the point where I can look into all of your eyes and say to you, there is no question in my mind that if you work this system, you will have success. And there will be times that you want to do it your way. And I'm going to recommend that you continue to find that middle ground between what we're sharing and your way, because what happens is when you imitate before you innovate, right? When we learn to ride a bicycle, we've got to learn from somebody that actually is showing us how to ride the bicycle, right? We imitate. And then we can innovate as much as we want. And I'm never going to tell you not to be yourself. I'm always going to tell you 100% bring your full authentic self into your marketing. But there are going to be sentences and things that you can say in your discovery sessions and things that you can do when you're on stage that will get you clients that will feel uncomfortable. And Claire and Shannon and I and Serena are all going to be giving you advice that sometimes you're like, whoa, I don't think that's a fit for me. Try it on before you make that decision. Raise your hand if you'd be willing to try it on before you reject it. And I know how much courage this takes, and so does Serena. And so do our coaches. We're asking this of you with total humility, and thank you for trusting us. All right, a kiss for trust. Mwah! Beautiful. We can get you further when you surrender. And then we're going to be reminding you, this is success tip number 8. We're going to be reminding you to keep finding buddies, and we'll give you another opportunity at the end of this call to grab a buddy. All right, I'm turning it back over to the one and the only Serena for the last 2 success tips, and then we'll do a quick review.
I love it. I can still remember the moment when I was in ELA and I was going to have my first enrollment conversation. And I realized I didn't know what to say. I had no idea. And I called my coach and I was sitting in my car and I was just like, I don't know what to say to this client. And I literally wrote down everything she said. And then I got off the phone, took a breath, called my potential client, and I read off the page the questions and the things that she told me to say, because I didn't have any idea of my own. I had no resistance because I had nothing. And I got my first paying client.
Woohoo!
It's going to be the places where we're talking about money, where we're going to be the most resistant. And so resistance takes energy, ladies. So to counterbalance the resistance that we naturally have when we're learning is success tip number 9. Bend, don't break. Be really gentle with yourself and schedule in self-care. The 2 things that you can do right now is set up your office hours and set up your self-care hours right now and begin structuring your life like that. If your life has been pieced together, if you have a lot of balls in the air, if you have kids, oh my God, right? Grandkids, you are going to need to schedule your office hours where no one can enter. And when you flip that over and you leave your phone and your desktop behind and you get self-care, because your body is going to evolve along with your business. Really, really important, ladies, not to burn out by taking really good self-care. Now, success tip number 10. One of the most important and maybe one of the hardest things to do is to choose. Women hate choosing. We want everything to live. I mean, imagine walking into a field of wildflowers, all different varieties growing in all shapes and sizes. And you're told you have to pick just one wildflower to focus on, to water, to tend, to weed. That's what women feel like when we say you need to choose a niche. We're like, but what about all the other people? I'm here to share that the other people will be helped by other people in the group and other people on the planet. Because we are human mortals, we need to choose just one group of people. And it's going to make your life so much easier if you choose. We talk about a couple different distinctions in choosing a niche. So one of the distinctions is choose a niche for now. Let yourself be drawn towards one group of people that you have already been helping or you'd like to help. And stay with them and tend to them long enough to see if you're a fit. Women resist this, but if you choose a niche for now, what happens is things start to evolve. You may discover a micro niche, a smaller group within this group. You may discover that this isn't your niche at all. Actually, it's the other ones that keep coming to you for support. They're the ones. But you'll have to commit to one to actually have the experience of knowing. There is no way to know your niche in your head. That is niche soup. That is when you go round and round, overthinking, trying to figure out with ever actually talking to anyone who belongs in your niche. And we're gonna try and get you out of that as soon as possible. The ways to get out of that is to do the niche clarity workbook that Sage has poured thousands of hours into and tons of research. That step cannot be overskipped, ladies, even if you want to. And most of our clients do that clarity niche workbook twice. Because as they evolve, they want to ask themselves the questions again and really stay present to who they're serving. The other thing to do is get with your coach so that your coach can reflect back to you if the niche that you're leaning into is actually has a history of people investing in it. That's really important. You know that the people that you want to serve have a history of investing in support so that you know that it is a viable niche. Now, we ask you to choose this and are challenging you to choose this by the retreat this summer. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. But choosing a niche for now, even if it's a broad idea that there are women in their midlife who are struggling with body image. It's men who aren't committing to relationship but really want long-term relationship. It's families who have children with special needs and are struggling with technology. It can be as broad or specific, but choosing one to start will get you on the path to clarity.
Yay! I'm so excited to get you all more clarity on your messages this month, and we have lots of resources to help you do that. It's occurring to me that there were a couple of things that I did that really changed the course for me. And the number one was when I decided on women entrepreneurs. That was not the niche that I thought I was going to be in. I thought I was going to be in women leaders. And what I realized in choosing women entrepreneurs is that it was so much more specific, that people could actually find me. And I could do all this, like a lot of the same work that I would have done with women leaders. I did build a 6-figure practice helping women get clear on their purpose. I did that before I chose women entrepreneurs because I needed to learn how to be successful in business myself first. Does that make sense? It's tricky to go out there and be a business consultant when you're still figuring out your own business, right? So there can be an evolution. There will be an evolution for most of you, just like what Serena's saying. But I'm actually looking at launching a leadership program next year or later this year because now I've built my brand. Does that make sense? I have a following. I have people paying attention to me. Now I have women asking me for a leadership training. Whereas if I had just offered a leadership training before to any old woman that wants to show up, it's a little bit obscure who that's for, right? Now you can be in the leadership niche. You just have to figure out who that leadership niche is for. So I'm going to be talking a lot about that during the bonus call. But that was the first thing I did. When I decided I was going to try women entrepreneurs on, I gave myself a whole year because I knew that I'm somebody that spins out. Raise your hand if you're a visionary. You oftentimes have so many ideas, you don't know where to start. Sometimes you have several projects going on at once. Okay, so I'm here to speak to those of you that just raised your hand. Give yourself the gift of committing to a group of people so that you can really see the results of that. And then you can evolve your niche. You know, we have women going into leverage right now that have been with us in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy a year, and they have clients from the niche they chose, and now they're evolving their niche. In fact, Megan Neely is a great example of this. She built a $250,000 business. You know, she did a $250,000 launch after being in leverage and then our higher level program. And now she's totally switching her niche because she's called to do something different. And like, good for her that she's allowing herself to switch. And she said to me, Sage, this is going to be so much easier the second time around because I stuck with my first niche long enough to really see that it works and to trust myself. And I want to also say that the other thing that I did that helped me get momentum really quickly is just like Serena said, you guys, I unsubscribed from all kinds of newsletters and bright and shiny objects. Raise your hand if you know you get distracted by bright and shiny objects, right? Like, I wanted to do a TEDx talk 5 years ago, but would it have been a good idea for me to spend 6 months putting together a TEDx talk when I wasn't even sure who my clients were and I didn't have anything to sell them, right? It's like, we have thought through 100 times and we've, hundreds of times, and we've studied our clients and studied what they're doing and studying their success and studied who's successful. We've been left and right and forward and back around this whole thing. So when we say this is the way to do it, trust us when we are sharing that we are coming from a place of knowing that it is our absolute job to get you success as quickly as possible this year. And so this is one of your handouts from the VIP day. I just want to remind you, this is how people come to you. They come to you through one-on-one opportunities of client referrals, referral partners. We're going to be teaching you all about how to do that, right? Going to a networking event, finding referral partners, talking to people, getting your finger in the dirt of your business. If you're sitting over there going, what do I do next? I don't even know. The answer is go to a networking event. Do your niche clarity workbook. And absolutely, many of you are already speaking. You don't have to wait to start speaking in this program. We recommend you start speaking soon as you are able to, as soon as you have the confidence, as soon as you have the willingness to go do that. Because like Serena's saying, you're getting out there and speaking to your potential clients is going to be like giving your niche the ultimate test drive. You're going to learn so much more in getting out there and sharing and making offers for discovery sessions, right? Really then learning everything that we have to teach about those discovery sessions and opening up those spots in your calendar, right? Because some of you guys are already speaking and you're already excited to hop on the phone with potential clients. Don't slow yourself down for anybody. We're not slowing you down. Just because we're spending the month of May talking about clarifying your message doesn't mean that we're not going to be 100% behind you if you go do your signature talk next week and have questions about it. That is all fair game. Does that make sense? Every month in the program has a specific theme, but you can ask any question you want, because we literally give you access to everything that you need to go out and start speaking and networking and doing enrollment conversations tomorrow, because you have access to the Jumpstart courses and you have access to a bunch of trainings in your library that are going to get you going with your signature talks. This program is a go at your own pace program, but we also hold your hand and walk you through the content all year long so that you can relax into that. And each month, just be focusing on one thing if you're somebody who does get overwhelmed and you want to pace yourself. All right? So let's take a 2-minute dance break, shall we? And then we're going to dive into the master plan. I'm super excited about that.
Me too, Sage. And can I screen share that so I have control over that one?
Yes. And can I play a dance song first?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay.
I'm so ready.
I could not. I was literally up early trying to get my speakers to work with my computer, and there's something weird about it. So I'm going to play it from my phone. So we're going to do our best. But show us your best moves, lady.
So ladies, whether you're doing a chair dance or a standing up dance, this is part of the stretching. Getting into your bodies and not being a robot. Sage can't hear it. Still can't hear it, love.
You can't hear it at all?
Nope.
How about, let me try this. Oh, come on. I'm going to figure this out for next time, you guys. I promise. Let's see.
Sage, I've
Try
got
this.
Okay, wait.
What's the song?
Can't hear it, love.
You can't hear it at all?
No.
what's
Ladies, we're doing some qigong, waving in the wind right now.
All right, we're going to stretch our arms up over our head and figure out the music thing for next time.
I want to just say, ladies, while we're here, just keep moving. Bring it all the way down to your hips. If you can, stand up for a moment.
Oh, moving helps you to retain the information. And then go ahead and unmute yourself and give us a little noise, like a or like a ay. All right. Stretching your arms over your head and giving yourself a little scalp massage. Your chest. And beat on your hips a little bit. Tap yourself on the hips. And up and down your legs a little bit. And then make one more noise of release. Nice big inhale and nice big audible exhale. Oh,
Yes.
DJ Jazzy Sage will continue to work on the music for next time.
The host would like you to.
Oh, ladies, thank you with us. There's a phrase that we use here at Women Rock a Business, and the word is wapacha. And the word is when our intention is clear that things are unfuck-uppable. And that's what's happening right now. Even without music, we can stretch or move our body. So thank you for playing with us. One of the things we want to share with you next is a master plan and how to really help yourself stay organized and focused. So I'm going to do a screen share with y'all. There we go. So this is in your forum. It's also in the file section of your Facebook page. And this is the master plan. And what we recommend is you print this out and you keep it really close to your desk and where you work so that you know what are the main things that you should be focusing on. So the first one is commune and choose and commit to your niche, or a starter niche, a niche for now, in the next 3 to 6 weeks before our summer retreat. The next thing we're going to do is create a 6 to 10 step marketable program. We're going to learn how to give effective discovery sessions. Launching a simple one-page client attracting website. This is the flow of ELA. We're going to translate your marketable program into a signature talk. And then we're going to show you how to deliver your signature talk and offer discovery sessions from there so that you can enroll clients, fill your practice or your group program, and add 15 to 10K to your monthly income. From there, you'll be poised to launch your first digital client funnel. Now, what we ask you to do is commit to taking action steps towards these goals by inserting your name here and signing it. And then your commitment is just to work at these over time, day by day. Here's a checklist and an some in-depth questions, how to take your action steps. Sage, are you wanting to go over the alchemical wheel today or not?
Yep.
Great.
And I would love to just share a couple of things. Serena, if you could go back to page 2. Oh, here, I'll go ahead and do it.
Yep.
Dun, 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 you're getting to look at the guts of Sage's computer. All right, so as you guys make your way through the content, you're gonna notice a flow of understanding what all these things are, right? Like for some of you, you're like, what's a marketable program? And I'm here to tell you that that is simply the program that you're gonna be creating that will serve your clients, right? So that you can work with clients over the next 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, right? So we're gonna be helping you design that program. And then we're gonna help you continue to create everything that you have working and create everything that you're creating. We're going to continue to help you translate that into a talk that you can go out and give, right, to attract more clients. And as we go, for some of you, this is going to feel less and less like a foreign language, right? Because for some of you, some of it feels like a foreign language, and that's okay. As we move into the end of this call, we are going to invite you to choose your first goal. And we'll say more about that. But be thinking about how many clients you would like to be working with in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, so that we can start orienting that way together so that you have that ready when you're on the phone with your coach.
Can I add to that, Sage?
Yep.
So one of the things we love to do at Women Rocking Business Ladies is the Olympic analogy, right? Many of us have a gold goal. We want to make so much money, or we want to have so many paying clients. And we hold that as our high goal. No problem. What we also want to recommend is you each also have a silver and a bronze goal, so that you can feel like you're winning no matter what level you're succeeding at now and into the future. So say, for example, you have a goal of having 10 paying clients, and you'd love them to be paying $695 a month. To really feel like you're crushing it and you're paying for your life. Maybe you're even putting some away for savings, and this program is being paid for. Excellent. 10 clients at $695 a month. Well, what we recommend is you also have a silver goal. Potentially that's 8 clients. And potentially your bronze goal is 5 clients. So as you're moving through this program, and you're putting in the building blocks to actually find those clients, speak to them, enroll them, and fulfill with them, that you move from 5 to 8 and ultimately to 10 paying clients, meeting your goals. Does that make sense?
Thank you so much for laying that out, Serena. I think it really helps us to be realistic with our goals, right? And for each and every one of you, I would recommend that you start with, if you have no clients at all, Serena and I are going to recommend that you start with a bronze goal, like a basic goal of like your first 3 clients, so that you can celebrate every single financial win, because every time you work with a client, it's a huge celebration. And for some of you guys, it's going to be a celebration to go out and get your first couple of beta clients. And what that means is, we were talking about that during the VIP day last week, right? To work with a client for maybe 6 sessions, just in exchange for a testimonial, so that you can get that practice of getting out there. And then some of you that have been working with a handful of clients, like Serena's saying, then we're going to be really inviting you to stretch yourself, to go for the next 5 clients, to go towards the next 10 clients. And be sure to share your goal with your coach, so that your coach and yourself can get on the same page with how you're actually going to make sure that goal comes to fruition, with speaking engagements and Facebook posts and videos that you're making and things like that. Now, next week on the Q&A call, Serena is going to be having you interact with your goals more thoroughly and really talking about your goals and sharing your goals. But for now, we're going to have you start orienting toward what is it that you want. And I do really want to make and put in a plug for printing out these handouts and putting them in a binder, because I know some of you guys are virtually oriented and you like to just have things pulled up on your computer, but I promise you it's not the same as being able to write notes all over these handouts and write on the handouts. That's how our brains learn, right? By interacting with information. So let's talk a little bit about the elements and how they're going to be guiding us this year. I'm going to just say a few things about this, and we'll get more into this later this summer. But just keep in mind that in the East reminds us of the importance of our vision, right? That we remember our business is like a baby right now, right? And as we grow it and as we learn, we learn through taking action. In fact, we get to the point where we have an adult business. The only way to get to the place where we have more of an adult business is by taking action. It's the only way. There's no amount of inner work that we can do to substitute for that. And moving around the elements, in the element of the South, in the direction of the South, we have the element of fire. This is a Native American model. I learned this when I did Vision Quests years ago, and also got to interact with a great organization called 8 Shields. Moving around the wheel into the direction of the West teaches us about the flow of resources and cash flow. This is where we remember that making money is a spiritual path, right? And as we learn to master asking for the sale, that's how we create an adult business. And then in the direction of the North is the element of earth. We remember that we have to have structures and strategies to make our business grow. We can't just throw things together and throw spaghetti at the wall and expect that it works, right? This is how we create a more mature business. In order to run a multi-million-dollar company, I'll be honest, this has been my biggest growth edge. My team telling me, well, we need a system for this. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to create a system for doing really complicated things like maximizing our conversion on a Facebook ad to a web page. And I've had to really lean into my team to help me create systems. So Serena and I are here to say, as soon as we can get you that first handful of clients, we also now know that you have the income that comes in to help you put the structures and systems into place, hire a proper team so that you're not doing everything on your own. And this year is really in and of itself a rite of passage. That's what we're creating for you. Right? Because to get all the way around the wheel, right, we've got to actually get you sharing your visions out loud and having other people hold you accountable to that vision. And that is what we're doing here, right? We've got our plans and our coaches up underneath you. So I love this Gertha quote, this commitment quote, right? Because all year long, you're going to be asked to commit and to recommit. Right? So I love this quote. Read it for yourself. I had this quote printed out and on my wall for the whole first year of my business. And then the 10 keys to financial success are 10 keys that we'll go over next week on the Q&A call. But for now, just know that these 10 tenets are going to get you closer and closer to the successful business that you want, right? Making your vision bigger than your to-do list, getting clear on your message, choosing action even when it's uncomfortable, providing a marketable transformation, right? Number 8, prioritizing income producing activities and confidently moving toward the success that's waiting, right? All right. We would like to switch gears now and answer questions and do a little bit of coaching around your messages and really kind of getting in to sync with those of you who are needing support. I'm going to go ahead and lower the hands because I don't know which of you had your hand up from wanting to share your intention. So if you have a fresh question, please re-raise your hand. And let's start with Ada. Hi, Ada. Ada, you can unmute yourself. Do you see the unmute button? There you go, Ada. For some reason, we can't hear you yet, though. Do you have headphones plugged in? Your volume turned up? We may have to check for your question on Facebook. Ada, I'll loop back around to you. As of right now, we can't hear you, my love, but play around with your microphone. Do you see that microphone at the bottom of your screen? And make sure that your microphone is turned on. The other thing that you guys can do is you guys can go up to Zoom in the very top of your screen where it says zoom.us and hover your little arrow over that and then find the place where it says preferences, Zoom preferences, and you can change which microphone you're using. And sometimes plugging in headphones helps a lot. All right, Ada, I'll loop back around to you. Let's hear from, how about Hope? Hi, Hope.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. I live in Woodstock, New York, and I wondered if we'll be given each other's names and locations or whatever in terms of learning how to like support each other.
Yep, absolutely. We're going to get you all of that within the next few weeks. You'll have the list of everybody who's in the program, geographical areas, and we also have you guys share your niche with each other because that's really helpful to figure out who your niche mates are. Like if you're working with moms, it's really helpful to know who else is working with moms because you guys can share ideas and help each other. So we're still literally, like we had 3 people jump in the program yesterday. So we're still getting our final master list and we'll get that to you guys within the next couple weeks.
Thank you.
For now, Hope, when we assign you the task of making sure you have a practice buddy at the end of this call, that's another place that you can, on Facebook, post your location so you can start finding out today where people are from.
Thank you.
Kiss for you. Mwah. Kiss to New York. All right, how about you, Kathy? Kathy Smith.
Hi, so glad to be here. I am like on a scale of 1 to 10, 11, ready to do this business.
Nice.
So it's been a 10-year goal to run a amazing Reiki and yoga company doing in-home Reiki and yoga for people.
Nice.
After the live event in California, I realized that it's more than that, and it's going to be maybe a school, right?
Love it. Your vision just blossomed on retreat. That's exactly what we were talking about.
Totally did.
We could answer one question for you right now. Okay. The next action step, what would that be?
So I did my talks. Nobody came. I need to micro niche it, and I was going to do it for everybody because everybody might use yoga and Reiki.
Great.
But what
What's
I'm
your
thinking
idea for a micro niche, Kathy?
Is for elder people.
Awesome. Awesome. So what we highly recommend, beautiful, micro-niching, ladies, if you don't know what that means, it's just about focusing your niche a little bit tighter, like Kathy was saying. Instead of helping everyone with yoga and Reiki, she's going to focus on elders. And so what you're going to want to do, Kathy, is really look into the Butts and Seats handout, our special title for that handout, and actually embark on 3 or 4 different strategies to get those elders to show up to your talks, okay? And that's going to be a really great action step. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, so glad you're here at an 11. Big kiss for you.
So much.
Yep. And I also recommend that when you guys do things like Reiki, yoga, Qigong, you may want to consider playing around with leaving the modality out of the title, because not everybody knows what Reiki is, and people think, well, if it's yoga, that's like a $12 an hour activity. So you could say that you could say something like, attention elders, or you could just call it in-home movement, in-home therapeutic movement practices for elders, right? And you actually may have people coming to your talk who want to hire you to come into their parents' home, which is another great thing. So you may find yourself teaching to a variety of people. Is that helpful? So just to be ready for that. Kiss for one more kiss for Kathy. Mwah. All right.
From Tiana Barker. I hope I'm not butchering your name.
Hi, Tiana.
It's Tanya.
Tanya. Hi, Tanya. I know you. You and I met on Facebook Live. And
yeah.
Look at that. You made it happen to join us here.
I did. I refinanced credit cards.
Smartest thing we've ever done around here. I've done the same thing in the first few years of my business. Yep. We love plastic.
So I finished my niche clarity workbook at 4 o'clock this afternoon, 2 hours ago. So before we can test drive me doing the song, because I got Spotify on my computer, so we can test the dancing.
Oh, good. If we can't get it to work next time, we'll let you do that. Great.
I love it. Another dancer in the group. She's like, let's make this happen.
Because I host dance parties in another co-working space. I'm by myself, but I have fun by myself. So.
How can we support you today, love?
So the niche that I came up with was like women in relationship, as opposed to Sage's idea. I had married women, but somebody said it's too micro niche. I'm excluding women in relationship. But I had like 3 keys to feel free to be you and have the courage to speak your needs in your relationship. So that's what came up a couple hours ago. So I wanted to test it to, I just feel like my next step now is just to sort of do a talk in my living room or, so it's around women not being able to speak their needs in their marriage. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm wondering if you've done any potential client interviews with these women yet.
No, I haven't. I thought it was the next step.
We'll be talking about that a little bit more next week, but I want to invite you guys to be sure you do that, because getting it in their language is going to be really key, because we want to market your stuff in the language that your clients are using conversationally, like with their friends. That's the most powerful marketing language. And I don't know that women are saying things like, well, I don't know that I'm getting my needs met in this relationship. I don't know if that's, I know women like you and I say that, but I don't know if it would be the first thing out of our mouths. It might be
truth before.
Huh?
I had 3 keys to speak your truth and feel free to be authentically you.
Yeah, these are great ideas. And what Sage is pointing to, we want all you to pay attention to, is that we want you to not skip a step. So when you have an idea of a niche, the first step is to get in conversation with those women and find out what is it that they want, what's in the way in their own language, so that you can then use that language to create a hot talk title. Because we can create hot talk titles here in our in our Zoom call till the cows come home. That's really amazing. But taking it out to the people who are actually complaining about things, they often use 12-year-old language. It's things that they're just complaining about or that they say that they want. Does that make sense, Tanya?
Yeah, and I got 2 women that I can talk, that I can interview, because I did grow parties.
Nice.
And
it turned up, so I'm going to ask 2 of them.
Good.
Yeah, and it might be something like heal your relationship or fix a broken relationship, right? It might be something a little more bold, right? Because when we have to wake people up with our marketing, you know, like write this down, like the best marketing wakes people up. It's not just like, oh, go speak your truth. You know, like I hear a lot of people saying that, right? But, right, the most successful ebook ever sold was called Stop Divorce Now, right? Very bold, right? A title like 3 Keys to Heal Your Relationship would absolutely get my attention if I was, and it would have gotten my attention when I was in a broken relationship years back. And this is a good segue, Serena, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to share this with people. The next step that we're going to be inviting every single one of you guys to do is to work on your what do you do statement. And there's a whole list of things here that we recommend in terms of getting that what do you do statement dialed in. And the first one is to use simple language, right? No more than a sentence long, lead with the results, passes the face test. And what that means is that when you share that statement with others, they should have a face pop in their mind. Now, there's some great examples here. I teach moms who struggle with giving everything away to their family and children to reclaim their time and care for themselves first, right? There's some examples here, and then there's a few templates so that you, Tanya, could start working on, right? I help women who find themselves in a relationship that just isn't working to get the tools to figure out what's not working and to speak their truth, right? And that's where you could use a phrase like speak your truth, right? And to create perhaps a joyful, loving, more honest, right, form of relationship, right? So we're gonna have you guys start working on these. And in fact, not just start working on these, but we're gonna give you like a crazy bold assignment today. Crazy bold. We're gonna actually give you the assignment to draft a statement. It doesn't have to be in final form. It's a draft. What is it, please? It's a draft. It's a what, please?
A draft.
It's an
imperfect draft.
Imperfect draft. Incomplete, not perfect, not overly wordsmithed, right? You are not overly wordsmithing for weeks on end, because who cares? It doesn't matter if you got the exact right words. It just matters that you get the essence of who these clients might be and that you try it out with us. And you take it for a test drive by, here comes the assignment, drum roll please, making a 90-second video, letting us know who you are and what you're up to with your clients, what you think you're up to. And for some of you, you might be like, I'm pretty clear. I'm gonna make a video, and I'm gonna make a video in a way that actually allows me to go use that video on Facebook as a way to flush out a discovery session. That would be okay. For you to make like a 60-second or a 90-second video that actually has you, like a video that you could actually go use. But it's also 100% okay, and this is what most of you are gonna do, make a video just for us. Nobody else ever has to see it. You could be as nervous as you want and as perfect as you want to be, holding the phone horizontally. If you want to use your phone as a video camera, make a little video and upload it to Facebook. Raise your hand if you've never done that before. Made a video and uploaded it to Facebook. Yes.
Oh my God, there is so much freedom in this, ladies. I just posted the post on Facebook, Sage, so it's up there and ready for you, ladies. My first video I made on the bumper of my car, because it was the most steady tripod I could make with the forest in the back. And I swear to God, I was so nervous. I must have shot 10 of them, and the first one was the best. This is super liberating for any of you ladies who are wanting to grow your business and begin at some point using social media. So dude, take a crack on it. Wear your hat, where it doesn't matter. Just get your voice out there and give us 90 seconds of you, and we're gonna totally love you up.
Yep. And then the second part of your assignment is going to be to go and acknowledge 3 of your sisters for the qualities you see in their video. And this is a really important part of the assignment. Step 1 is to make the video and post it. And step 2 is to acknowledge your fellow sisters' qualities, because when you actually get that reflected to you by a group of women who you're going to spend the whole year with, it's going to strengthen the leader inside of you in just the right way. Okay? So love up 3 of your sisters, make the video by next week. The video is due next week. You have your Q&A call, same time, same place, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Your video is due before that call, and we're going to choose a couple of winners to receive prizes for the videos that are the most clear and the most creative. And again, for those of you that are totally new to this, you can literally just use a phone. You can open up your camera on your phone, flip it around so it's pointed at yourself so you can see yourself, and just hit record and talk straight into the camera. And now you have it on your phone. And then when you go to Facebook on your phone, you can upload, instead of, it's just like posting a photo. Instead of posting a photo on Facebook, you're gonna choose to post a video, and you'll just upload it straight from your phone. And if you have questions, there's a lot of other women here that have done it. So you can always ask on the Facebook page, and you've got a whole tribe of women to support you. Can we give Tanya a kiss for stretching into this relationship niche? Ooh, look at her receiving. All right. Let's hear from Kat. Hi, sweetheart. Look at your positive energy you've been shining at us throughout the entire.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. Do I switch my video?
You're good.
Okay. All right. So my question is, when you talked about the history of my clients investing in support, and my niche is a very unique niche. It's polyamorous women, and it's not a niche where there's a lot of data. There's not a lot of connection, and I have a lot of fear around actually getting women to pay for my services. How I don't know where to go to find that information.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Kat, thank you so much. Take a couple of deep breaths, okay? Yeah. Just declaring that you're wanting to support this micro niche, right? A polyamorous women brings up all kinds of fear, right? Yeah. Because intimacy is a huge topic.
It is.
It's a huge topic.
Yeah.
And I just want to reflect back to you, it's also a really hot niche.
Yeah.
Because you're taking a stand that intimacy in this form of engaging is actually valuable and needed. And it's also really hard to do it well.
Yeah. It is.
Awesome.
It really is. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. So thank you for your vulnerability.
You're welcome.
So you might want to take some notes in case you don't remember this part, right? Some places to go to look to talk to people about intimacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's dating is in some level polyamorous, right? They're maybe dating multiple people. Any organization that supports couples, right, could have some form of people who are practicing that. What state do you live in?
I'm in California.
Well then,
California.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You might consider putting a post out to anybody who attends any kind of festival, right? One in particular that shares about intimacy is the Soul Play Festival that happens every year in California.
Thank you.
So begin those kinds of conversations. Now, ladies, you might be like Kat. You might be leaning towards a niche, and you're like, I can't just walk up to someone and say, "So, are you polyamorous?" It's kind of weird, right? So it's going to be edgy to have a conversation with someone. So one of the things you're going to do, Kat, is you're just going to really keep your perception open. And you might start with a conversation. Say you meet a stranger, or say you meet an old friend. You might just ask, "What are you in a relationship right now?" You might ask, what do they want in relationship? What do they want? And what's in the way of them having the relationship that they do want?
Right.
Right? That might give you enough information to be like, yeah, I can actually probe a little bit deeper and ask them if they ever been in a polyamorous relationship or not. Or I might get, no, I'm happily married and I'm celebrating my 10th wedding anniversary. Great.
Yeah.
Then they might not be the one to dive deeper in, right?
Sure.
So as a woman, you get to use this feminine approach of intuition to having these potential client interviews. And if you happen to, Kat, have meet someone who like you can really have a deep conversation, but you are at a coffee shop and it's not intimate enough, you can always ask to call them. You can meet them later, right? Some of these potential client interviews can be very successful in 15 minutes, ladies. Right? Others take a little bit longer. So just use your intuition, create some intimacy and safety. And you can always start off with, I'm doing some research, right? So that people don't get nervous that you're trying to sell them something, because clearly you're in business, that might be in the field. So you can just straight out say, I'm doing some research on my potential business and I just have a few questions, right?
I like that. Thank you. That's helpful for sure. I'm pretty good on kind of where my niche is.
Yeah.
It's more of I don't know if they have a history of getting coaching or support, because I've been doing my own research of what types of coaches and support is out there. And what I find is there's a lot of free support. There's a lot of Facebook pages. There's a lot of peer support, but I don't see a lot of professional support for this niche at this time. And so it's how to price things and how to market things to a niche that is not in a history of paying for support.
And we're gonna stair step you, and we're gonna help you test this niche, because that's one of the things about niching. I'm going to talk a lot more about this in the bonus message clarity call. But we've got to test this stuff out. Like Serena was saying, there's going to be things that we have the answers to. Like we're like, yes, here is the answer. And then there's going to be things where we're going to be like, okay, here's what I'm going to recommend you go test.
Excellent.
But we know that some things need to be tested, and that's going to get you the best results the fastest. And
perfect.
One of the things I want to speak into any of you that are working with an edgy niche, and for some of you, you're just edged out because we're all edged out anyway. But the more edged out you are, the more support and emotional support and self-care you're going to need, because the more edged out you are, the safer you have to create your own container for your emotional body and your business. So take a breath right now and look at each other and give each other that nod of, I'm willing to keep myself safe in this process and ask for more help than I'm usually used to asking, right? And to be patient with yourself, to let yourself take it one day at a time. We have the whole year together. And for you, Kat, I'm guessing being bold is going to be one of your inroads. Being as bold as you can, right? Attention poly women. 3 keys to being on the path of authenticity, right? like as simple as that, because women who are making that choice, they know what the word poly means, right?
Yes, they do.
And then to really respect that that's such a deep choice, and it's not a choice for everybody, but it's a choice for people that it fits for. And I'm here to support you if that's your choice, right?
Thank you.
And then as we get more clear on what their pains are, the trick to them investing is going to be really having a program that is the solution to their pains. Because some of their pains might be, well, how am I going to have a family and be in a poly lifestyle? How am I going to keep this clean for my kids? And when you can use the grow conversation to flush out any of your ideal clients' pains, and you do a good job of it, that's when we can actually make sure that your clients are investing. So that's the piece that we want to get you all practicing. And I'm proud of you for choosing something so edgy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Kiss for Kat. You're so welcome. So ladies, now is the time that we're going to be laying out a couple of action steps for you. And for those of you that have a burning question specifically that you need answered in order to move forward in the program, please post it on Facebook. And if it's a question about the forum or about handouts, if it's a logistical question, please email support@sagelevine.com. So I just want to be really clear about this. The Facebook page is for strategy questions and for coaching and for questions about your signature talks and your niche. And it's not a place for you to say, where's the handout again? Or the video's not working for me on the welcome page. Please email client care for that. You're going to get a faster response when you email client care, and that way it keeps our Facebook page clean for us to be able to support you in your business. And dun, 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 your next steps are to make your video 90 seconds. By the way, if it's more than 90 seconds, you won't be eligible for the prizes. Does that make sense? We've got some fun prizes we're giving out next week. And in order to be eligible for the prizes, your video does need to be 90 seconds or less. And then you've got to, you get to acknowledge 3 of your sisters and what you see in them. And be sure to be thorough with that. Like if you see one of your sisters has a particular superpower at explaining things or is particularly inviting or particularly gentle in her leadership, be sure to explain what your acknowledgement really is so that she can use that acknowledgement for her own good. Does it make sense? Because when people mirror back to you your great qualities, you can really start to use those in your business and leverage those. We'll talk more about that as we go. And the next step is to make a buddy request. And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to, if you haven't already, maybe you have a buddy you love, but we're going to recommend that you have at least a couple of buddies in here. And this is now the official time that we're going to recommend that you head down to this post that Serena posted and grab a buddy. So share your niche if you have one, where you're from. And again, if you're not clear on your niche, you don't have to share it. That part is optional. But share where you're from and then start commenting on each other's posts. And I'm going to recommend that you guys grab more than one buddy. I'll say more about that in just a moment. But then these are just reminders to book your room at the 1440, complete your commitment checklist on the welcome page, and start working on your potential client interviews. And we'll talk more specifically about those potential client interviews next week, but you can absolutely get started. You have the form at the end of your master plan handout workbook. Now, I want to speak into grabbing a buddy because we're actually going to recommend that you do that right now. Grab another buddy like now before you leave this call. And here's why. Like I was saying at the beginning of this call, one of the biggest things that we're all going to be up against in growing our businesses this year is keeping ourselves safe and connected and accountable. And the more women you have in this program, you know, you've got their phone number in your phone. You can literally call them or text them daily if you want to. The more women you have, the more supported of a launch pad you're going to create underneath you, and you'll go that much faster. Trust me, Serena and I think we probably reach out to each other for support almost every week. Serena, would you say? I mean, when one of us is launching something, we're usually on the phone with each other or just texting each other once a week because it is too intimidating to go out there and give this vulnerable part of your heart over and over and over and over again when you don't have people in your life that you know 100% have your backs. And some of our most successful women in Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy, literally within a few weeks of the program starting last year, had 3 buddies. And they were meeting with one of their buddies on Mondays and one of their buddies on Wednesdays and one of their buddies on Fridays. And they literally would start out the day, 15 minutes each way, 30-minute call, 15 minutes, I check in, you check in, here's what I'm up to, here's what you're up to. And there's a fantastic buddy call template in your May handouts that we'll also go over next week.
So
that
ladies,
you guys know how
I want
to
to add something, Sage, about grabbing a buddy. Because grabbing a buddy doesn't mean putting your name up there saying you need a buddy. That's not going to be grabbing anything. What it means is you find someone on there, then you tag them. You either private message them on Facebook or you email them. You actually reach out to them and let them know, I have time on Monday, I have time on Tuesday, and you follow up with them. Don't wait. Don't wait for someone to pluck your name off of the Facebook page. You go get someone and be active. That's what it means to grab a buddy. Thanks for letting me add that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to be sure that you guys know where to find your buddy template, because it is super duper helpful for your first buddy call as a way to get you guys connected and really making use of that time as a
nice.
What do I say? Making use of your time almost as if it's a, oh my gosh, where's your buddy handout?
As you're looking for that, Sage, I just want to acknowledge the women who are posting right now. It's beautiful. We've got a lot of women posting their location. Some of you have already started to define your niche. I love it, and they're coming. We've got sorry, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. Eileen, Catherine, Alston, Sarah, Raquel, Charmaine. Yes, ladies, keep it coming. This is really crucial. And what I want to say also is that you may have a buddy for the first 6 months of the program, and you two may not be, your timetable might not work out as well as you thought. It's okay to bless your buddy off and pick someone who's like maybe in your time zone or maybe a closer niche fit. So it's okay for us to have buddies and then choose someone else at some point and bless them off. That's okay too. We're not getting married here, okay? And like Sage said, don't more than 3 to start. We don't want you to have 12 buddies to begin, because then you won't have any time to build your business, okay? 3 or less just to start.
All right, I'm going to show you real quick where the buddy template is, because I found it, because I am so good at navigating this new forum. It's in your May section under supplemental handouts, buddy template. Dun, 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 dun. It's right there, and it's super helpful. It's going to outline a fantastic way of structuring your call, where if you have an hour, you could each have 30 minutes. If you have 30 minutes, you could each have 15 minutes. We recommend not just shooting the shit on these buddy check-ins, but check in each way. Share what's up for you. Take a few minutes to do that. Bring your biggest question to the call. Here's what I think my niche is. What do you think? Here's who I'm working with. How does it sound? Here's a talk title I'm thinking about for my signature talk. What do you think about it? Right? And then end the call by sharing what you want to be held accountable to and acknowledging each other. Super powerful format for a call. It's going to keep you moving along and making use of the time and really sharing with each other. Here's my commitment. Here's what I'm going to do before we talk next week, or let's check in by text in the next 7 days, and here's what I'm going to have done, and what are you going to have done. And did you know that when you tell somebody that you're going to do something, you're 90% more likely to do it? Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Can I have an uh-huh?
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Francesca, for having my back. All right, ladies, as we're wrapping up the call, I want to just thank Serena so much for your deep wisdom and commitment to every single woman here. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you to the commitment that you've made for the year. And as you go off into your world, know that you're surrounded by a warm bubble of protection and commitment and strategic planning, that every piece of action step that we give you is designed to get you closer to being more confident on video, right? More confident in front of your ideal and potential clients, more connected to this tribe, so that as you go out there in the next couple of months and do the speaking and do the networking, you are going to have the success that you've been waiting for. Serena, what do you want to leave this incredible new cohort of Entrepreneurial Leadership Academy women with?
I want to recommend, ladies, that you all place your hands over your hearts right now. The success that you have this year depends on how brave you are. Not how successful you are, but how you pick yourself up day after day and recommit to what's right here inside of you. Brene Brown talks about when we dare to live greatly, we will have to pick ourselves up again and again and get back in the arena. And this is our arena. We believe in you. We're here for you. And this is the beginning of the best chapter of your life.
It's happening. Your clients are waiting. We promise. We cannot wait to watch your videos. So if you're nervous to do it, just go make your video right now. Get it over with. We can't wait to see them. And we'll see you next week.
Please bring your question to the Q&A and we'll see you on the Facebook page. We're
Bye,
going to unmute you all for a big 1, 2. Ready, ladies? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Robin. Bye, Juliet. Have fun making it.
Thank you.
Bye, Terry.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Due date the last time for that video.
Hug.
Can you repeat the due date one more time?